Making your way onto this broadcast. My name is Adonius D. Johnson. I am the author and the creator of I Am My Life Coach, and now I Am My Life Coach 2. Welcome to the Mighty Monday Meltdown that takes place every Monday in the 7 o'clock hour here on YouTube. So as we make our way, the notification goes out. People are coming in. We're going to get started shortly. So just take your position. Stand strong, be open-minded, gather yourself. There's no telling what can take place. There's no telling what can happen. Only thing that can take place in this hour is a transformation. This is a transformation hour. This is a transformation time. I located it for myself. We are entering into the evening watch, right? We're going to have a little bit of this, and we're going to get a little bit of that, and we're going to get a little bit of spiritual, and we're going to get a little bit of wisdom, back with a little bit of experience, but none of this makes sense if we don't have you involved. What I look to do is be good over time. I look to be good over time. I believe for many situations and circumstances we have been in individually, it just wasn't our time. If many of you, if you can decree and declare that it wasn't my time, it will change your life. Shackles will fall. Chains will come off of you. It just wasn't your time, right? For many of us, we tried to do things. We tried relationships. We tried family. We tried jobs. We tried school. We tried the spiritual sector, churches. We tried to get in an organization. We pledged to fraternities. We tried to vow. We tried to, we even pledged an allegiance to a country. We done pledged to everything. We don't went Republican. We don't went Democratic. We don't went, I ain't voting at all. Some of us, we don't went gangs. We don't went GD. We don't went BD. We don't been Blackstone, Peacestone, everything. We done tried it all right? We done tried it all. Some of y'all want to go deeper? We can go deeper. We done tried Hennessy. We done tried Martell. We done tried Boom Font. We done tried, see, I used to be a Boom Font type of guy, right? We done tried Malibu. We done tried rum. We done tried tequila. We had Casamigo. We done tried it all. Champagne, right? Oh, y'all want to go deeper? We done tried weed. Some people trying pills. We done tried clothes. Some people done tried braids. They done tried weed. They done tried sew-ins. They done tried it all. And something is still missing. Y'all wanna go deeper? Some people done try as a woman, some people done try as women, right? Men done try what they tried, I don't know, right? And it doesn't work. That's the whole point. Some people don't try school, I left that out, right? And they lead by education, right? Education is skills, right? They got a lot of skills. They done went to obtain certifications, certificates, associate's degrees, bachelor's, master's, PhDs, doctorates, even GEDs. Some people said, forget all of that. And what did they do? They just tapped out, man, I'm done with it, dropped out and became very successful. Many of us, we dropped out and gave up on a lot of things in our lives, right? But guess what? When you drop out, that puts you in position. We dropped out of the race of trying to be this and trying to be that. We dropped out of the race and trying to feel like, oh, I'm leading the Democratic Party. But then they put a fool in position or whatever and mess everything up. Oh, I'm leading the Republican. I ain't no Republican. I don't even know these people. I didn't create none of this stuff, right? See, we dropped out the race, and the race wasn't going to be given to the quick and swift. It's about time you to drop out. I pray you guys are in a good position. At least I am. That's where I'm starting from. I'm starting from the good position right now. I'm in a good position. Many of you single, right? You safer single. Let's start there. It's amazing that, and I'm just stalling some time real quick, getting us in the vibe for a minute, right? Letting the music play, getting it in my spirit before I release the wildfire, right? We enter in by fire right now, by power, by fire, right? And someone today said to me, they was talking in comments, and like, I've been singing for a while. And I said, what have you learned? They say, what have you mean? What do you mean? And it's like, think about it. I've been single for a while. And you mean to tell me you can't support yourself being single? You're not attached to nothing. This is the perfect time to strike. This is the perfect time to go at your goals. This is the perfect time to get what you need. Even if you connect to something, right? This is the perfect time because you're focused. What did being single teach you? It shouldn't teach you about somebody else. It should teach you about you. It should teach you everything you needed to know about you. But some of you, you so want to connect to someone else that you never seen who you can be. You never seen who you can be. You never seen what's inside of you. And that's what I look to do. I look to bridge the gap. I look to come through. I look to patch you in. We dropped out, but guess what? Inside of your dropout, a lot of more things is about to pop out. A lot of more things is about to be revealed. Beauty, inner beauty is about to reflect on your outer beauty right now. The way we communicate, the way we listen. And this is a period of time that you should be writing down. As of right now, if you ain't started writing already, we about to listen, right? Why do I say listen? Because in this season, we want to listen to what God is whispering. God ain't yelling nothing to you. He's not yelling nothing to you, but the enemy is very noisy. We want to listen to the whisper of God, and we want to reject and cancel out the noise of the enemy. People want to sit here and bring up all stuff you know nothing about. Hey, you know you going to this week, you going that week. What you doing? What's up with you? What you got going on? Too noisy for me. Too noisy for me. I've been channeled through all of this. Some of us, we're back at the starting line, but this is a new race, but it's in a familiar place. New race, familiar place. In this race right here that we about to walk it out in, we don't have to be anxious for anything. I can tell you this right now that you already starting with everything. You will know what you're doing if you really knew where to look at. And I believe today you were sent to this broadcast, and I pray that you walk away different from the way that you walked in. You will be transformed if you stick around and make time. I made time to be here. This is like almost, I want to say maybe our 7th year Invisible Crown. I have to explain this so that when I say it, you can say it. When I say it, you can say it. You see, when it comes down to leadership, leader, I do it, right? Second, you watch me do it. Third, I watch you do it. Fourth, you do it. Fifth, you go get somebody else, right? You go get somebody else. We've been here for over 7 years now, declaring a message that is profound. It's profound. It was given and birthed by God through God for the people of God. Now, let's be clear. There's 2 types of people, God. There's man of God, right? Like woman of God. And then there's a man that's made by God, right? And there's a woman that's made by God, right? I look to bridge both of them together and become one. My goal is to marry you to you. Marry you to your higher self. Marry you to the other side of you that you never seen before. And the way that I do this, I go an opposite route. I don't go up, I go down. I go deep down inside of your soul. I go to the things that you planted, forgot you planted, things you prayed about, forgot you prayed about. I go to your disappointment. I go to things, and I start by what? I start by calling a timeout. What do I call a timeout on? I call a timeout on the battlefield. The battlefield is called life. Whose life? It will be considered your life. And in that time out, that's a pause. A pause. Why? Because life is a battleground. It is a battlefield. And for many of us, we like to believe that life is your best teacher. Well, then if life was your best teacher, then why do you go to school? What is they teaching? Who is these teachers, right? Why do life have to teach you something? But why you haven't taken time to teach yourself something? Because we're looking at it wrong, you guys. Life is not a teacher. Life is an obstacle course. And on this obstacle course, it displays what your teachers have taught you. And for some of you, we have got in relationships early on, unqualified, no training, no background, no resume. And yet, you see, we have to remove these different titles, these different chokeholds, these different chains, right? We have to remove them. But it's how you remove them, because if you don't remove them the proper way, you can hurt and damage yourself. And for many of us, we have got damaged. We're damaged. We're damaged because we don't want to revisit where it all started. Even though you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or your 60s or 70s or 80s, it doesn't mean that your patterns has changed. Habits is what creates your future. And for some of you, you had a habit of doing what you want to do when you wanted to do it, and the outcome ain't pretty, right? And now Everything you enter into, it repeats itself. This is why you don't open up about the position or the role. This is why I say remove that title. Because the moment you give a title or receive a title, you sit in the same seat of someone else that came before you and that hurt you. So you relive all over again what it is you done already experienced, and you looking at the person. But the real truth to the matter is you should have been looking at yourself. I thank you guys and everybody that joined in on this broadcast. Let me go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and start this thing and rip this thing in half right now. Peace and blessings. Thank you guys for joining. In order for us to get something different, we have to be willing to do something different. I'm all the way out the box, but I do respect those that are in the box. I do believe that we definitely need to have the box up. This is a teaching moment. A teaching moment allows you to transform into something. But don't run out off of this broadcast and go out in the world and start fighting. No, we have to train. We have to build ourselves back up. So what am I doing? As I speak to you, I'm actually speaking to myself first. I'm speaking to myself first because I lead by example. For me and you, we have to lead by example. Well, one thing we have to do, we have to make sure that we understand at least one principle as of right now, and that is the invisible crown. The invisible crown is the most important thing to this thing called life. Now remember, we are in a timeout. Where are we at a timeout? We're on a timeout on the battlefield. This is a battleground, and we need to take more ground, right? Now, for others, we must understand if we on a battleground, then guess what? Others are on different type of playing fields. Try a playground, right? People are on a playground and that stuff is played out, but guess what? It's a habit, it's a routine. Just like I said, dating, it's a habit, it's a routine. You date the same, you play the same, you dance the same, you move the same, and we just compete with each other. I don't want to do all that. I've been put a stop to that. I've been put an end to that. I recognize I was excelling in God, through God, by using God. Now watch this. For many others, they wanted me to fit in and go with the program. So that means when I was in the build, they was in the building, I'm in the building, then they felt we was equal. But guess what? We wasn't never equal because God deals with each and every last one of us individually. And it's about time to wake up, not smell the coffee. It's about time to wake up and recognize we're going to invest in coffee that helps other people. I don't want to wake up and be like, I got to have my cup of coffee, right? I want to wake up and make the coffee, not drink the coffee because I know it's good. Go sell the coffee and make a profit. Many of you, it's about making a profit. A profit of what? A prophet of God. That's how you become a servant, a prophet of God, right? We have to make a profit, right? That was good. That was good. So we have to understand first the invisible crown. I thank you guys for entering in by power and by fire, because that's where we're at right now. That's how we gain an authority. The fire will reveal what the heart could not never see. The fire will burn up everything that was, and it will land you exactly where you need to be. If you started this broadcast with me early on and you made it on time, thank you. This whole hour will be blessed. Your family will be blessed because you are blessed. Your children will be blessed. Your mind will be blessed. Your internal organs are being blessed right now. Why? Because you have ears to hear. And deliverance comes from hearing. And today you will be hearing from who been trying to talk to you. It's in a whisper. It's in a conversation. That's how this thing happens. It has to be personal. Take everything you have and put it on you. That's how we have to move. We blame no one. That's some of the rules that goes with this thing. We blame no one. Feelings don't exist because it's not needed, right? So I say put them in your pocket, get yourself tucked in. Let's go back to the invisible crown. The invisible crown represents two things. When you think about a crown, you think about the king and the queen. You think about royalty, right? What does it symbolize, right? What does it symbolize? It symbolizes something. And for many of you that done made your way on this broadcast, as well as myself, yay, humble as I must say this, our crown, our first crown was not a crown of diamonds right? Some of you, you get to dress your crown up in gems and rubies and stones. Our crown wasn't a Keith and James hat or a fitted hat, right? Our crown wasn't a Keith and James hat or a fitted hat, right? Our crown wasn't a Dobb hat or a big old fancy hat. Our crown was a thorn crown. A thorn crown of humiliation, thinking that we had what we never had. How could we have anything if we never done anything? Some of you, you so stuck on wrong that you don't even understand the right way to do things. The right way was to do things was to be your way. But since you never had your way, which is Yahweh, we were stuck to doing and conforming to someone else's ways. If you saw the last broadcast that was done on the previous Monday, we hit some things, we hit some areas, I hit some dark spots. And would you believe that Jesus Christ in Revelation, he said, around Revelation 2, it stated, consider how far you have fallen and return back to the things you did at first, right? Some of us, we don't know what we did at first because everything we ever done required validation. It requires approval. What do you want me to be? What are we doing? What is this? You wanted somebody to tell you we in a relationship, but what type of relationship, right? And Jesus said in Revelations 2 that I read last week, I'm just recapping. He said, if you do not repent, and I had to stop you because it resonated so much within me. It said, if you do not, I will come and remove your lampstand. And for many of us, we never had a lampstand because it was already taken away. But when your eyes come open like they're open now, that will be your inner standing. It gives you inner peace. It gives you an inner drive. You gain inner strength. This thing is so personal that it's a privilege and an opportunity to be able to stand. You know the song that says stand, after you've done everything, you stand. You're going to have to stand on something. And today, guys, invisible crown represents two things. One will be your character. And for many of us, we never looked at our character. We never worked on our character. Why? Because we're too busy judging somebody else's character, right? What do I mean by this? Well, if any of you had more than 2 girlfriends in your life or 2 boyfriends in your life, then you was judging the first boyfriend to the second boyfriend, to the next boyfriend, to the next boyfriend. And if you had girlfriends, you was comparing this one to this one, to this one, to this one. And all that was missing was you. You never played a role in this thing. Your character is what defines how this thing gonna play out, right? Do you not know the more you rise, right? The more you rise, the more you take ownership, the more you take guidance in what you participate in, the more you put out, it actually set the pace for whatever you participate in. It's actually called self-awareness. It's a trigger for self-realization. So I realized I have to give my all in what I believe in. See, I don't believe in a person. I believe in what I participate in. I believe that this got to work because it has to work. I believe it has to work because I'm engaging in it. My power is enough to do what I need to do, right? So I'm never depleted because what I believe in, I'm willing to give my all for. Today, guys, I pray that you can accept the exact same words I just said and it take hold of you. It take hold of you, it resonate within you, and it snaps something within who you are, and it begins to release. Release what? Release what you need, your strength, your power, your water for cleansing. You see the water, the blood, the water, the blood, the water. It was a cleansing. It was a cleansing to clear you to be certified to go out and do what you need to do, right, for yourself. So I want to get the journey. I want to start teaching. I want to get up in this thing. Invisible crown represents, one, your character that's always on display. And for many of us, if we can work on the character and adding to your character. Sometimes you have to add some other attributes to your character to make your character better. That's what it's about. Bigger, better, greater internally, right? So when I speak, I'm always speaking from where I stand, understanding, not understand. Remember we talked Hosea 4:6, my people perish because of lack of information, which is knowledge, and understanding, meaning you too busy following old ways that you don't even understand that that's old ways is what led you in a maze. And this maze never led you to you. I used to say, what you're looking for in the world, you will never find because the world has to find it in you. The moment you stop and drop all the understanding that somebody else has been giving you, right? Then you'll be ready to roll out. Roll out the new business plan, roll out the foundation, roll out the pavement, roll out the grounding, right? So that you can have a harvest. We will have a harvest because we're here to do the work. We're listening, we're learning, and we're executing. Watch this. So the first thing is character. The second thing that makes up your invisible crown, right, is your attitude. Your attitude is so important, you guys, because your attitude is what shapes your environment. Your attitude shapes your environment. I wrote inside the book, I Am My Life Coach. I read it the other day, right? It says your attitude determines your altitude. And for many of us, we're flying too low and we need to increase, right? We need to get up a little more higher. Others, your head is in the cloud right now and you can't see where you're going. You can't see what conversations is going and there's no purpose. So you have to come down some. And I just want to balance out. To balance out means to plane out, right? And that's why we have to have a balanced room. Playgrounds is what we used to be on, but now we on the battlegrounds and we have to open this thing up, right? We have to open it up. One way we can open it up is stop focusing on the income. Stop focusing on the income of what somebody else is giving you, right? Stop focusing on the income and let's start focusing on the outcome. The outcome. The outcome. Listen, learn, execute. What would that lead to? The outcome. This is not about a lot of talking right now. So I'm really not interested in a lot of excuses to why it didn't work, when it didn't work. Well, this is what they problem. I'm really not concerned about what I done and how well I performed 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 7 months ago, 7 weeks ago, 7 days ago. I'm a new creature. I'm a new creature, right? I'm about newness, you guys. Everything got kicked. So I want to get in here, and before I get into this thing, again, we're going to focus more on outcome and not income, right? The outcome is very important. Just waiting till the music change so that we can at least take 60 seconds and just build ourselves, reposition ourselves. I think that's something that I learned that helped. It allows you to participate with me. It allows you to be free from titles, free from things that keeps you in bondage. Meaning when we writing new thought patterns, that means we have to get rid of old thought patterns, right? Removing titles. One of the reasons why I had to learn to remove titles, because I found that people feel entitled. Entitled to know, well, what are you doing? Where was you at last night? What you do this day? Where you going? How many people you been with? So you still talk to so-and-so, as if this got anything to do with you. You came in here as a solution. Sound like I got to execute you and escort you back out because you probably the problem I just got rid of, right? That's our time with that. Here come we're coming up on our 1 minute. 1 minute, build you guys up in prayer. Silently, you don't have to speak. Just let the music meditate to you and think about where you're going, okay? Go. Gotta prepare your mind right now. We gotta prepare your mind to take on more areas. We're gonna be traveling to the Word of God, right? We're gonna pick this Bible up and we're gonna use this Bible. I believe the Bible can be two things. It can be used for many things, Well, for some of us, it's going to have to be a weapon. For others, it's going to have to be a tool. For others, it's going to have to be a reminder. For others, it's going to have to be a manuscript, a blueprint, and it's going to help us in this time. I pray that our minds are open, our ears are open, our hearts are open right now. I pray that the angels would take their positions around and camp. They are already here. I felt their presence. The presence was here before you got here. So now that they done already set us up in this moment, we going to get everything we need for the glory of God so that we can get honor and we can give him praise and that he can get this glory and we can glory in him and through him. Transformation. In Jesus' name, that is so. Amen. Told y'all I'm on time with this. That is so. Light your fire. We going into the word now. We need light to go into this word. You guys, we in Matthew 9. Matthew 9. It seemed like I was in here last week, but this one is more deeper. I wanted to go more deeper. You will figure this one out in a minute why I chose to take this route. Take this alternate route to get us where we at. I call this particular portion, every time I open this word up, I call this portion flipping the script because that's what I look to do. If I can teach you how to flip the script, you can flip it for yourself. It don't matter how you flip it, right? Somebody asked me, I said you have 4 ways, right? They asked me about give or take, right? We look for relationships that's give or take. We look for relationships that's give or take, right? And I said it's all wrong. There's 4 ways you got to look at things, right? We got to look at most of the time we look at what somebody else is doing, right? And we look at what we do. So based on what you do is what I do, right? That right there is called horizontal, right? That's called horizontal, right? Based on what you do is going to determine what I do. So it should be a give and take. I'm sure you guys understand this basic information. I only look to have basic conversation. I do not look to be all the way up here somewhere. I want to be so down here that I believe that God need us. I believe this, right? Well, that sound kind of, God need us. Wait a minute. Now, God don't need us. Wait a minute. You need God, right? Then if you need God, then God needs you. See, so his word can come forth, right? He ain't asking you to change. He asking you let the word empower you and bring forth a change for bigger, better, and greater things, right? That's why it says, let your kingdom come, that thy will be done on earth. You are on earth as well as myself. See, I'm just breaking it down, making it simple, right? You see, so God wants the kingdom to be here on earth. But if you're not ready to reign, then that's going to be a problem because some of us keep looking for rain and we spelling the wrong rain. That's why that storm keep knocking things down. The rain we need to be praying for is R-E-I-G-N. God, you reign. You reign in me and through me. But see, some of us, we got it all wrong. We still on here. We looking for the rain, the water, the seas. No. We're looking for rain to take over some areas. Some areas we need to take over, right? Authority. This is a year of takeover as I spoke, right? Already into existence. This is the year of takeover. We're taking over the altars, right? Remember, there is an altar call, but the altar call was for you. Everything is about formation right now. This is about getting more information. The more you know, the more you grow. I'm here to give you more and hope that you can take more. Now, if you can't take nothing else, just hold your position for a second. And because I'm going to ask God for increase to give us more room. We need more room. And some of us, we got to grow into where we at right now. We don't look for the handout. We got to grow into this thing. And that's where the issue is at right now. Issues in relationships is because the relationships is very key to me. You have to grow. Hold up, right? The hold up meaning like, let's not do this. Why? Because every person that gets in this seat is not going to get a fair opportunity. Because there was already people that wooed that crown. They put that crown on, messed that crown up. Some people put that crown on, got drunk. Some people, hey, king, are you a king? But guess what? At the end of the day, king got responsibility. Kings pays bills. King got to make decisions. But at the same time, every time the king out making moves, he got to be able to view his queen. And when you look at your queen got to have a certain look. But if your queen done got on some clown behavior and she too busy smiling and cheesing, ain't done no work, don't know how to handle nothing, don't know how to promote nothing, don't know how to ground nothing, don't know how to build nothing, don't know how to develop nothing, and most important, don't know how to nurture nothing, she will mess around and tap into masculinity and think she runs something. And she will get dethroned. Do you hear me? Okay. So we got this, right? So this is the give and take. Somebody asked me, it's a give and take, right? I said, no, it's four ways. It's what they give and what they don't give. It's what you give and what you don't give. You see, some people in my life, I just like them because they don't give me problems. Why? Because somebody else came and they gave me problems. So it's nice to find some people that don't complain about some other foolish stuff that I just don't have time for. I have outgrew certain things that it's so beneath who I am. It's an insult to even have to address what I done already addressed in my teens or in my 20s or in my 30s. But in my 40s, I should not be having the exact same conversation. That means this person is not compatible. You see, this is the cross now. This is why it's a crossroad. They say, well, why is it a crossroad? It's a crossroad because if you come from this way, or this way, it all leads to the middle. The middle is the target. For many of us, what's the target? The target wasn't to kill me, the one who giving you the understanding. The target wasn't to kill your significant other, which is the spouse. Some of us, we will tear down. A woman will call a man not a man. They will say, you ain't got nothing, you ain't doing nothing. They will sit here, but that man confided into you. That man told you where his weakness was at, what he was attempting to do, what he needed to do, what he should have done, where he made his mistakes. And guess what? You took all that information, waited for the wrong time, and you unloaded on him to what? To defend yourself, just to break up this right here, to start all over and go back to you don't do nothing for me, right? Which is one way. See, one error. Boom. You don't do nothing for who? For me, right? See, even that arrow that points says that the one on the other side was greater than you. The one on the other side was greater than you because it wasn't you. See, I do what I need to do in terms of who I am. I'm working every day with the Invisible Crown Army and those that surround me, as well as this broadcast, to make sure that I'm healthy, that my mind is fit, and everything is in alignment so that I can give you the best version of me to possibly bring out the best version of you, right? It's all about versions, right? So it's all about versions. Versions, not virgins, right? Some of us are virgins to prosperity, but you about to get your prosperity broken and you about to go into prosperity and get that poverty up off of you. Poverty is a mindset, right? And we're here to change the mindset. Watch this. Let's go to Matthew 9, verse 18, and let's get into more word and less me. Thank you guys for the transition that we're making right now. While he was saying this, a synagogue leader, stop right here. This broadcast is built on all leaders from all walks. You belong here because this said leaders, not followers. I ask you to subscribe to the button below because I want to make sure that every time I come on, you come on too. Because this is the only thing personally that we might have in our lives. Privately, that I can actually say I belong to this, and it didn't ask me for a membership fee. It didn't ask me for my credit card number. It didn't ask me for my social security card number. It didn't try to get me to join anything. It said Invisible Crown represent two things: character and attitude, and it's familiar. I need this, you need this, let's get this, right? So here we go. Here go a leader right here, right? He came and knelt before him, talking about Christ, right? I just want you to see what others was doing, because this is how some people will kneel before you. They will kneel. Kneel doesn't mean you get down on one knee. Kneel means, what do you think we should do? That means I'm bowing down because I respect you might know more about what we're doing in this moment than I do. That's why we listen, we learn, and we execute, right? If I know you are a better fit for what this conversation is consistent of, then I'm going to need you to take the lead, and I trust your lead. You understand? That's how this works. So they knelt before him, right? Watch this. Before him and said, my daughter has just died. Stop right here. For many of you, daughter can mean many things, right? Daughter is the thing. It can mean many things. I could go into this another time. It's gonna take some time to explain what actually daughter means in female, right? But I want you to know that I'm going to address that one day. My daughter. I like the word my because it's ownership. My daughter means it's mine, it's my business. It could be my business. It could be my house. It could mean anything, right? It just died. Anything that was breathing, anything that I birthed, when it dies, that means it dies. D-I-E-D. Some of you, the relationship died, the man died, the female died, your inspiration. Some of you, your sex drive died. I'm not attracted to him no more. Oh my God, right? It died, right? Just like that. And you're wondering, wow, why I'm not physical. I don't get turned on, whatever the case may be. It died. Things can die on you because you didn't nurture it, you didn't groom it, you didn't know. Remember, you didn't have. You forgot about this. See, what I give, what I don't give, what they give, what they don't give. What you do is just as important as what you don't do. What you don't do is just as important as what you do. And you have to also understand it starts with you first. This is what makes it a crossroad. This is what brings forth the higher self, bringing it both together to meet at this point. So it doesn't matter if it comes here, 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 or here. It will end up here in the middle. The goal is to get here. So whoever's here needs to get here. Then we could take this way while we use God and we pray. If not, we can go this way and we can plant something. Whatever we plant will grow up. But whatever we do has to make sure that we balance out and understand how we are to be compatible. That when this grows, we respect whatever that shoots up and we have to nurture it. I hope you got this message and you wrote that little cross thing down, right? So here he goes. The daughter dies, right? Has died. Past tense, right? What's going on with you and your ex? Oh, that's past tense. That's that. I don't want to speak about that no more. But you don't want to speak about what died in your life. But you want to come and CPR things that's in other people's lives. You want to try to resurrect. CPR, what happened with your ex? What's up with this? First off, I don't call nobody ex, right? I don't X nobody out because at the end of the day, that might be my connection that leads me to my $1 million opportunity. Well, I'm saying that means we don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to like me. You don't have to call me. You don't have to groom me. You don't have to vet me. You don't have to do nothing. But I do believe that if you have any type of heart, and if there's a heart in the house tonight, let's change the broadcast to if there's a heart in the house tonight. You can at least bring my name up. You can at least bring one of my friends' name up and make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do as a human being, respectable human being, right? Now watch this. My daughter has died, just died. But come and put your hands on her. And she will live. Stop right here. See, many of you, somebody just needed to put the hand on what concerns you the most. And what am I saying? That's the inside job that I'm here to address. It's called the inner hand, which is the hand of God. It's always been here, but you never knew access to it. See, my people perish, Hosea 4:6, write it down, and are destroyed because lack of knowledge. Knowledge is information. The more you know, the more you grow, right? Many of us, we have not grown. We are disabled because we was in undeveloped relationships. We was in an undeveloped household. We'd had undeveloped parenting. So we perform undeveloped parenting, right? Some people had two parents, but when you conceived your child, you was the only parent and you depending on your parent to parent what it is you birthed. And now you never took full ownership and now it done grew up and now you back and forth ready to throw up all the things that had you messed up or jacked up. And you missed out on many opportunities now. Confidence is missing. Courage is missing. But today you're being restored. You're being revived. You're being renewed. I could go on speaking this thing on your behalf. But why keep praying and prophesizing things in your life when I know what's missing is the understanding that you needed an inner standing. You needed something to stand on. I Am My Life Coach is something to stand on. If anybody going to teach you at this point, it's going to be you. And life gonna show you that you are correct. Life gonna show you that, hey, wherever you walk in, you can walk out. That's why he covers your going in and cover going out. When you go in, you know what you're looking for. But why go in something if you don't know what you're getting out of it? See? Verses So when people sit here and you constantly doing this back and forth, all we doing is going back and forth. That's because you ain't put God in it. And what we planting, what you put down grows up, right? What you put down grows up. And if you put down some of your, I expect this and I expect that out of you. I'm used to being treated this way. Then you're spoiled, you're a baby, and you never built nothing. That means you are disqualified for anything, right? You disqualified for anything. You can never hold a title for anything. That's why I got rid of titles for us and say, remove the titles. So God said, God, take them titles off of us. Why? Because people that get a title feel entitled. You give somebody a title, they feel entitled. I feel entitled. I can ask you this. No, you can't. I feel entitled. You just think you can just come in someone's house and just open up doors, go in the refrigerator, do this. Not if we don't have no, I don't do that to you. How can you do that to me? And then if you do that to me, then I'm considered unresponsible because I let somebody else come and go through my things, not even knowing what they're looking for. Come on now, I live by example, and I'm the example today. And so are you on how we take ownership. Come on now, Sister Sonia on deck. Sister Sonia, you better be in Matthew 9 right now because it's going to get heated. Listen to this. But come and put your hands on her. She will live. Watch this. Jesus got up. Stop right there. See, what plus why? You got to tell me why I should be interested in what I participate in. Why should I be interested? Why is very important. They done told Jesus what he needed to do, why he needed to be there, right? They had everything in order. You see, when things die in your life, you need to know why it died. And you need to know why you wasn't able to perform, right? Why you wasn't able to perform. Why did you choose this individual? What was it about them? See, many of you, you let your eyes see. See, he wasn't who he said he was. First off, whatever he was is what he was. At the end of the day, it's what you was looking for. What did you expect? And why did you expect it out of them? Why didn't you expect to perform and just perform? And they showed up. But guess what? If they had to match your energy, it would be totally different. And it might have been the energy you've been looking for. Light your fires, guys. We're going deeper. Here we go. When Jesus got up and went with him, and so did the disciples. Stop right here. This is why I say I carry the invisible crown army with me. So even if Sister Sonia ain't physically with me, her spirit and the soldiers and the angels that occupy her are rolling with me because I'm covering grounds. When I cover grounds, it's your grounds as well. That's why we cover ground. We take territories. We get authorization. We authorize to do more. We authorize to go further. We got more range. We're more range, right? Conversation wise, we don't feel like somebody just drilling us. We say, hold on, what difference does this make? We stop and pause. Nobody can run lights no more. Nobody can blow past stop signs no more. The stop is like, wait a minute now. Let's just take it one step at a time. I know you said you love me, but what does that mean to you? Not what it means to me, because I'm not easily triggered. Because when I say I love someone, 9 times out of 10, my actions was there before my words even went forth. And when my words went forth, that just really means my love means I'm open. I'm open for God to do what he needs to do. I'm open for God to perform on your behalf. I'm open for God to sit here and bring forth all the fruits that you are entitled to. Yeah. Love keeps no record. So I don't even ask people, are you qualified to be around me? Are you qualified to talk to me? Are you qualified for me to listen to you? I don't know, because I love me before I ever loved you. And when I decided to love you, it was because I love me. And when I did that, it created this. It created this. So I'm never trapped in anything, because I can go this way, that way, this way, that way, but I still will get right here. And if right here was to get me out of here, then he said in scriptures that if you was worthy, then let my love rest on somebody that got love already. You didn't need my love. You just needed me to complement the love you already had. So we didn't lose anything when we connected, but you gained everything because you saw a reflection of yourself operating inside of someone else. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go deeper now. Let's go deeper. Run it back. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper and run it back. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, I can't play that one because that's going to get me flat. Okay. So listen to this. Verse 20. Jesus got up, went with them, so did the disciple. Just then, A woman who been subject to bleeding, stop right here, for 12 years. I'm on my way to one thing, but got stopped by somebody else. This is where some of you at. This is where I be at sometimes. This is the multitask now. You see, I know that this died and I need to fix this, but it's a possibility that I need to fix this and this and this and this and this. We talking about a big God right now. He could fix your health, your finances. He could fix your relationships. He could do it on behalf of your sons, your children, your body. He can fix your attitude. He can fix your character, all these things. But yet you need to show up with one thing. Remember, I said in the 5 o'clock Wildfire on Saturdays at 5 o'clock on Facebook, there was a man that was paralyzed. He was paralyzed and it said the room was full. But see, there was 4 people that had to carry the one that was paralyzed. Why? Because what they was trying to do needed 5 people. See, sometimes you got to bring somebody and you got to get them up because they belong in your army. They got wounded in battle, paralyzed. Right? And some of us, we're paralyzed, devastated by the last relationship. Some of you, the one you love, end up marrying somebody else, right? And you wondering, how they gonna go get married? I look better than her. It wasn't about look better. It was about act better. See, attitude. See, them moving on showed you who you was. Right? But you still stagnant looking at them, still trying to figure out. Then you say, we got the best relationship now than we had before. Why you didn't have that relationship before? It was because you didn't bring it on the front line. You wasn't ready to lay it down right there. You wasn't ready to talk about this way, this way, and that way. You was too busy talking about what you do for me, what you gonna do for me. Can you get your hair done? Can you take me out? When we gonna do this right here? See, we outgrew that. We outgrew this. This is called vertical. This is called horizontal. We have these horizontal relationship back and forth. I say something, you say something, you say something, I say something. But when do we have the vertical? I want a spiritual man. You praying by yourself, right? I want a spiritual man, a man of God. God, I need a woman, but I need her to be made for the circumstances. I need her to be made for the future. I need her to be made, not a future blocker. I need her to be a future fixer. She comes in, she builds up, she builds out, and she makes it happen. Let her be one that knows her work. You see, this is why it said the woman, the Proverbs 31 woman, because she understood the assignment before she even showed up for the job. She was already qualified. Some of you get people that's already qualified, but yet when you come, you not ready, you not complete, you incomplete, and you're not qualified yet to sit here and deal with somebody that's qualified to take you to your next level, qualified to pray for you, qualified to teach you a thing or two, qualified to assist you, qualified to listen to some of the things you never got a chance to talk about. But yet you're still stagnant because you don't want to put yourself all the way out there. But if you don't put yourself out there, then it's about time. Better yet, don't put yourself out, drag yourself out there, because you can drag yourself out there. Now it's time to work this thing better than you ever worked it before. Light your fire right now. Light your fire, because it's time to work right now. So what happened? Somebody who had an issue 12 years, but at least they knew that it was an issue that I have. You see, I have an issue with trust, right? But guess what? Why do you have an issue with trust? You know, men or women, why do you have an issue with trust? It's because you never built trust on what you built. When you build something, you trust what you build because you know how it works. And that's how you build it out. I build myself out based on what I built within. And now that I built something, I can build it out and I can monetize it. I can watch it. I know how it's supposed to work. I know how my feelings supposed to work. I know how my conversation supposed to work. I know how my ears supposed to work. I know that I am my life coach, not yours, allows me to ground me to respect you and realize that you participate in what it is that I participate into also. So we living on the what? Me be at the crossroad. You gonna get what you want, but I have to get what I need also. Even if you don't give it to me, it's my job to get what I need out of what I'm in. It is my job to get what I need out of what I'm in. It is your job to get what you need out of what you in. But for some of us, we would rather stay out waiting on somebody to come and feed. And right now, this is not a time. This is not the time. This is not the time. It wasn't the time, but this ain't the time to be sitting here waiting on somebody to feed your grown self. This is time to get radical. This is time to get bold. This is time to wake up. This is time to dream again. This is time to get to the crossroad so we can figure out where we going from here. It's about where we going now. Where we at now? What we doing now? You qualified, you certified, you listen, you learn. It's time to execute. Watch the execution now. Let's move now. Yay. Light your fire, here it comes. Light your fire, here it comes. Listen, it says, Jesus turned and saw her. Take heart, daughter. Wait. Back up. Verse 20. Just then, a woman who had no name. Not my auntie, not my cousin, not my girlfriend, not my friend. A woman, no name. Many of us, we got no name because we're in a timeout on the battlefield right now. The battlefield is called life. Whose life? Your life. So we on the battlefield in a timeout. No name because we never needed one. Watch this. Who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, came up behind. Came up from what? From behind. Many of you coming up from behind. You've been behind a long time. You've been behind in your wealth. You've been behind in your marriage. You've been behind in your family, behind in your morals, behind in your spirituality. And for many people, stop right there and pause the spirituality thing. Some people are so super deep in nothing that they believe they standing on something. And every time it's time for them to talk, they want to go get the Bible and read to you as if I need somebody reading to me. I don't need you to read to me. You just need to talk to me because we ain't got a lot of time for all that. What I need to understand is that, hey, I never questioned you about who you are. But at the end of the day, the only one that don't have the confidence is the one that's sitting here trying to prove something to me. You don't have to prove anything but that you worthy to be in whatever it is you in. But if you're still trying to prove that, that means you're not in. That means you are actually out. You canceled yourself out. You put yourself out. And for many of you, that's our leaders. We represent leadership for ownership. So we own it. Everything moving forward. If you in it, then you own it. That's how it works. If you in it, you own it. And if you want to own this friendship, participate in it. And if you don't want to own being in it, then get out and leave me where I'm at. And so for some of us, that's why we're not too anxious about a title and we're ready to stay single. But if you're going to stay single, then it's time to get the work that comes from being single. Jesus didn't need a partner right now. All he needed to know that he needed to marry higher self. Higher self, he was the husband, and my lower self had to be the female, and I had to merge these things together. And once I became whole, I was looking for people that was wholeheartedly into whatever it is we needed to be into. Watch this, y'all. I'm flipping the script for us. I'm flipping the script. Look at this. She was bleeding for 12 years, came up from behind. This is how we gonna come. Don't you get it? Oh, they running a race. Here come you. Here come you. Oh, you make a dash to the inside. Oh, wait, it's 2024 now. They've been down for the last 10 years, the last 20 years. They've been ready for a husband, wanting a husband, but they never got in position to even be received. They wanted to be a wife. Come on, they make their way. They make their way. They blow past one thing. They blow past another thing. They got over the hump. Right now, okay, there go the wife. Here come the husband. There you go. They make their way to the inside. Oh, they jump to the outside, and they done made their way from behind. See how? You went from behind now? Now listen to this. From behind. Now what happened? Touch the edge. Just touch the edge. I just needed to get close. I didn't say I jumped over. I didn't say I won the race. I didn't say that I finished the finish line. I said none of this. We still breathing, right? I just needed to get to the edge of the cloth, right? That was a specific location. I just needed to get here. So I could either go here or go here. Right? I need to get here, or to go here, right? I need to get to the crossroad. Now watch what happened at the crossroad, right? Look at this. She said to herself, self-manifestation. Self, I know I can do better. Self, I know that's more for me. Self, I know God didn't bring me here to leave me like this. I know I ain't represented the way I should have. There's no honor. People ain't honoring me. That means there's something wrong with this equation here. Because when you see me, you should see the God in me. And when you applaud something that I do, you're not applauding me. You're honoring the God that gave me the strength to actually do it. I'm big enough to do what it is I used to sit here and felt like I was entitled to do. I'm entitled to lead. I'm not entitled to lead you. I'm entitled to lead me. And by trusting me, then that's how you lead yourself. And that's how both of us enter into victory. So here we go, y'all. Let me slow down. Verse 21, she said to herself, if I only can touch his cloth, I will be healed. If I, myself, is me, can only touch something that he's saying, I am my life coach, invisible crown, character and attitude, then I will be healed, because all you was missing was a small piece. All you was missing was a touch of motivation. All you was missing, light your fire, was a little inspiration. All you was missing was a one-on-one. All you was missing was a sit down. All you was missing was the wonderful counselor. Some of you just needed to get to a location that some way, somehow, that he wouldn't agree with me, he would challenge me. And when he challenged me, somehow it changed me. But once it changed me, I was never able to change back. Watch this. Come on, y'all, let's move, let's push. Watch this. Listen to this. Listen. She said to herself, if I only touch the cloth, I will be healed. Verse 22, Matthew 9. Jesus turned and saw her. See, I see you. I see you. I see you over there wanting bigger, better, greater. I see you wanting. I know what you want because I wanted it too. That's why. See, I am my life coach too. I know what you want because I want it too. I want to get to a higher level. I don't want to be all over the place. I want to have an amazing home. I want a well-balanced family. I want to be able to live a balanced life, prosperity. I ain't going to pray for something that ain't working to us. I want it too. I want a nice car that I can trust. Matter of fact, I want a couple of them, right? We serve something amazing and we have to remove all limitations. Keep in mind, you guys, the reason why it's hitting the way it's hitting is because we are in a time out. And sometimes we got to say time out to old thinking, time out to old ways, time out to things that just doesn't work, time out, right? That's what the lady said. Time out. She thought to herself, if I could just get this concept from I Am My Life Coach, something will happen. Listen to this. Jesus turned to her, take heart, daughter. Notice, Jesus was on his way to revive a daughter and ran into another daughter. Isn't that amazing? He was waking up. Remember in verse a little further up, right? Remember the man came to Jesus and said, Jesus, a woman came, Jesus. My daughter, there you go, verse 18. My daughter has died. Now listen to this. Jesus, on his way to one daughter, runs into another daughter. Don't tell me Jesus don't have women included inside of the plan. I know for a fact I Am My Life Coach is perfect for the woman gender base. I know this. Why? Because Jesus healed more women. Why? Because women was left out there, left to die with no purpose, right? And that's not how it's supposed to be ever. But when you, as a woman, lose your nurturing gift to nurture who you are, to create what it is you need, then you end up with masculinity and you become super robots in the wrong way and you mess up everything. And that's why it says, hey, scripture says this, women shouldn't teach. And guess what? They use it a lot in the church atmosphere, women, but women, we believe you should teach. But what would you be teaching when y'all in here preaching? Teaching is stopping and taking time to show you how this works. But I understand why women shouldn't teach, because there's so many Decepticons that look just like them. They will get up close, find out more about you. Yes, evangelist. Yes. Too much. Yes. And mess around and end up stealing your husband or end up stealing your anointing or stealing your time from you. And I get it, because this is an inside job. I need to give it to you, get you back online, because you can have something better than what I have. Because what I have goes with me. And it is the best thing. What you have, what goes with you. But if you take what I have, it would not be compatible for you, because you borrowing, and God don't want us to be no copycats. We don't need no copycats. We need some original relationships with some original recipes. That means it ain't your mama recipe, it's yours. You built it on good faith. You built it on what you know to do, and that's how it's working, the way it needs to work. The truth do hurt though. Watch this, you guys. Take heart, daughter, he said, your faith. See, I Am My Life Coach grounds you so you don't lose control or spin out of control. And now you got to be remote controlled by circumstances. I need some help. I need somebody to help me with my bills. God was all the help you needed when you first inquired the bills. The bills wasn't there first. It was whatever the bills manifested. You didn't have bills when you wanted cable. You wanted cable, then you had bills. You didn't have a car note. You needed to realize that the car was going to help you get to more places, and it was worth the note that you had to pay in order to buy it. So God gave you what you wanted, and it was the car. Your responsibility was the note. And for many of you, the same applies for everything in your life. There is a note that you need to write, and that note is, God, I'm about to do bigger, better, greater. I need your help, and I need you to restore. I need you to revive. I need you to refresh. I get it now. Enough is enough. I've depended on everybody to do something that you was calling me to do. I see marriages birthing. I see people with new cars. I see cars on the expressway. driving, I see big buildings and office buildings, and yet I'm still here, stuck at the bottom, riding past people's houses, looking in their window. They sitting at the table, they family oriented, and I'm sitting around here scuffling back and forth with these three ninjas that I call family, these three ninjas that I call friends, these three ninjas, try two ninjas in my life, both fighting in the dark, trying to figure out who, what, when, where I'm going to find myself in their life when, truth be told, my future pulls me out of anything I ever got in. Once I'm reminded that there's something bigger, better, and greater waiting on me, then I'm sorry, but I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Light your fires for that right there. Let's press and push. We already over now. We 1 minute over, but I need 9 more minutes to close it out. 9 more minutes. I appreciate you guys' obedience right now. 9 more minutes. Let's press, let's push. Thank you, God, for allowing us to get to this point right now. You're giving us access. Access has been granted. I'm grateful that there will be no hesitation. There will be no stagnant or no delays. We're building altars, and right now this is the altar call. The altar was made for formation, and right now we're forming our tomorrows. We're forming our tomorrows. Better yet, he said we're forming the days ahead. The days ahead will reveal what it is we did today. Let's go. In Jesus Christ's name, that is so. Amen. Light your fire and let's move. Move to the next point. Listen to this. Jesus said, he said, your faith has healed you. Not you and everybody else. But once you get healed, everybody else get healed because they get a new you. They get a new you. This lady was bleeding, whatever that looked like. I could talk about that, but don't have time for it right now. Let's go with the message now. Let's stick to scripture since you like to read. And the woman was healed at that moment. All that matters is at this moment your mind is working. All that matters is at this moment you can see clearly right now. If you can see clearly, light fire for your eyes opening up. And if you can hear this message the way that I'm saying this message and I hear this message, you have to light some fire and light this thing up. I don't care if you're the only one that's lighting your fire right now. It's by faith, by power, by fire, by faith right now. Listen, learn, and execute. Execute your fire and light some fire for yourself. Yay. Light your fire for yourself. We ain't waiting around for somebody to light fire for you. Light it for yourself right now. And at that moment, come on now, and at this moment, and at this moment, and at this moment, and at this moment, the woman is healed. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. That is so. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed immediately. Right now, we doing it together in this time out. Right? Let's go deeper. Verse 23. Jesus entered the synagogue. A leader's house. You must understand, this is a leader. Now, some of you come in looking at somebody else's house like, wow, you got all these followers. Wow, this is your church. Wow, you so blown away at what they done, and you ain't got 2 people following you yet. That's why we here now. Don't you see why we in this time out now? We out here on the battlefield calling our time out, but this is our church right here. This is us right here. This me and you and me with God right here. This is where we at. This is all we got right now. I understand y'all like walking in the buildings and hearing these people up here doing what they doing, but this is when stuff get real. There's no choir. There's no choir. There's no praise team. There's no worship team. There's no band. There's nobody leading you. There's no usher. There's no seat. There's no nothing. All it is you and me and you. That's it. And God is here in a time out, and everybody's joining in, and we about to get this fire lit. This a campfire. That's where we at. We outside. Cold weather, no money, but guess what? We will not leave the same. I believe that. I believe it wholeheartedly. I believe already that things is already snapping loose right now because he's going to prove himself. He's going to prove this right here. He's going to prove himself to you immediately. This week, right now, God is going to prove himself to you as well, that you doing the right thing. And when he start proving himself, to God be the glory, you're going to owe him something. Get your tail back on this broadcast and be on Facebook in the 5 o'clock Wildfire, right, to get that message, and then be back here next week. God's will, God's way. We're going to do it again, and we're going to keep hitting repeat. Listen, learn, execute. Listen, learn, execute. We ain't got a lot of talking to do. Let's move. I want to be good on my time. Listen to this. Jesus entered the synagogue leader's house, like the house of hope, right, or like the Potiphar house. He entered that thing. Now watch this. And saw the noisy crowd. Do you see how I started the feed at the beginning? I said, I pray that we can hear God whisper. That means him talking, and not the enemy, loud and noise. Now, why did they point out noisy crowd? Because some of you like the music. Your body, you get so much music, your body start dancing, doing all this other stuff on its own because it's already programmed by habit. That's why we do what we do. You could listen. I walked into the gym and walked myself right back out. The mind is something else. Some of you, I'm on a diet trying to lose weight. I'm up at nighttime eating popcorn, getting lemonade. What's that? A pyramid or whatever it is. The lemonade or whatever, raspberry. And I'm drinking. Before I know it, I wake up. I don't know where this spirit come from, but what I'm saying to you is the mind is the most powerfulest thing on your body. It runs everything. And yet we spent no time trying to get this thing under control. Now that's just my personal testimony to you. And it is a revelation. A revelation is what puts you in tune with God. And that's why we need more revelations right now. I want to hear a revelation. I want to hear how I got for you and how you got up out of it. Then I know God did it. So watch this. Listen to this. It was noisy and people was playing. See the playground? Pipes. They was playing, right? They're around here playing. Some of us, my heart is played out. My time is played out. I'm just out. Some of you, we out of time. That is like out of time. Like you cannot put a quarter in, even putting a quarter in the jukebox, you can play a song back in the, they don't even have jukebox no more. Ain't no streaming over here. Nobody finna Wi-Fi hotspot to me. No, none of that, right? This is here. You're going to have to sit here and have a connection on your own. You're going to have to build your connection. You're going to have to put up a satellite. A satellite goes out of space, but you still need a tower. And for some of us, people don't have no satellite. Don't you know? Listen, I'm guilty of this one now. I'm guilty of this one. Now, it's embarrassing too. Like, y'all know Jaden, right? Jaden, my son, Jaden. That's my son. He lived with me majority of his life, right? Jaden, I guess he felt that my access and my financial, least he can do is call his mama and connect her Netflix to my TV, right? Now, Jaden is in the military, but the Netflix stays there. So now I got a text every now and then. When I cut the TV on, it says this TV does not register with the account and I can't get no services, right? So I got to text Jaden's mom and I got to say, hey, they just sent you a passcode. Push accept or send me the passcode to grant me access. What am I saying? Many people trying to gonna be looking for access through you. If they're not worthy of the access that you're giving them, because one thing leads to another thing. I cannot be attached to somebody that's not responsible. I can't be attached to someone that's all over the place. It's okay to be all over the place as only if you have a base, which will be a grounding. Once you ground yourself, it's Bible even said cast many fish hooks out. You don't go fishing with one pole. Bring 4 poles, bring 5. Better yet, how about 7? Throw 7 of them out there, right? Because if one bite, you pull this one in. If this one bite, you pull that one in. You can't just have your little job every day you're going to. And right, and you just sit here waiting, you're not gonna catch nothing. And so now some of us done got tired of fishing because we'd rather somebody give us a fish, right? Fish only gonna feed you for a day, okay? Some of you, you're fishing with the wrong thing. You should be fishing with intelligence. But instead you're fishing with poison. You're fishing with artificial intelligence. You're fishing with your out appearance and you're not showing up. You're fishing like this, right? You're fishing wayward. In the Bible, it says stay away from the wayward woman, right? This one right here. Wayward, right? See that? It's an arrow. Faith. Faith, it said it can distinguish the arrow. See, you got to have faith in what you know you can have. And most of the time, ladies, your faith has to be in what you can build. What you can build. Just like you can build your whole face up with makeup, right? And it looks real. It looks good. I ain't gonna lie to you, it looks good. You could pop some contacts in, change them eyes from gray to blue to green to yellow, right? You can put the hair up, right? Snatch it up, 28 piece. You can low cut it, bob it up, weave it up, willow, spring, tip to the side. You can get the African braids, any braids, right? Put a wig on, 24 lace front, back front, any front, right? You cut it all off, right? God is like, you can do all the outward work, but God is looking for inner work. The inner working of Christ has to give you this, the inner working, right? So watch this. I got to show you this layout. Look at the layout. Watch the drop. Here go the drop. The woman was healed. Jesus entered the synagogue. The place was noisy, right? Now notice, he's on his way to heal someone. He said, go away. See, some of you gotta tell things to go away. Go away. Go away. Those thoughts that come in your mind, go away, right? You gotta put them away. Why? The girl is not dead, but asleep. See, a lot of things in your life is asleep. The girl that's in you that you think is dead is not dead. She's asleep. The nurturer that goes with you, ladies, is asleep. You have to take care. You're not wrong for anything. Whatever you choose is whatever you choose. I just saw a comment. Somebody say they're wrong. No, there's no wrong. There's no right. That's just you. Whatever you do, that's what you do, right? It's just how you do what you do. Put the order to what you do and be the best at what you do. That's the best advice I have for you. But let me just close this up real quick. And we'll get back to your question, Bella, or whoever that is. We'll get back to your question. You're not wrong for what you do. Whatever you do only affects you. Long as you don't affect nobody else with what you do and you do things decent in order, then that's your decent and that's your order, right? But as long as you don't throw your community out of order, okay? That's how that works. So let's go deeper, you guys. But they laugh, right? They laugh. See how that, I'm saying? Some people laugh, right? So watch this. When Jesus said, go away, the girl's not dead, but asleep, they laugh. Many people laugh at your ideas. When you have a new business, when you have something you want to do, when you're interested in something new, when you believe in something new, when you read something new. What book you reading, right? People are looking at what you do. They're not looking to support you. They're looking to give a report on you, right? I think I wrote something a little bit different. I want to say how I wrote it. I wrote it a little different. Let's see. Where is it at? Light your fire. I need fire, you guys. Oh, there you go. People don't want to talk to you. People want to talk about you. That's why we're here, so that we can build a solid foundation to give people something to talk about. It's called about being intentional. But see, many times people watching you, and by you not focusing on what you need to do and not having the tools and the weapons to fulfill it, they laugh at you. And that's what they talk about. They talk about your imperfection. They talk about how you fell on your face. And now you're more worried about what they think versus what you think about what you're trying to do again. This goes from relationships. Why? Because we enter into relationships at an early age. We enter into relationships undeveloped. We enter into spirituality undeveloped. We entered into the world what? Undeveloped, and got developed by people that was undeveloped. And now we never developed a sense of identity for ourselves. As I close out, here's the closeout. God is looking at what you're going to do, right? And if he's looking at what you're going to do, then you have to stop looking at what you have done, which is the problem. And you got to start looking at the plan. And I think that we can come up with the plan today, that we can do anything but fail because we're connected. We're getting tapped back in. We're tuning back in, right? Now watch this. After they laughed at him, see, they got to laugh first. After verse 25, the crowd had been put outside. See, the crowd is outside. We on a timeout on the inside. See, we on the battlefield, but we in a timeout. They outside still playing the game called life on the playground. We on the battleground. This thing got to get real right now. This ain't just about one thing. This is about everything. But if you could change one thing, you could change everything. And one person can change a whole community. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we are doing. That's what we will do, right? Now watch this. Come on, Sister Sonia, let's roll. Verse 25, after the crowd had been put out, he went in. See, he went in. He went in. After they was put out, after you shut the noise out, he went in. And it's time for us to get that word. If he went in, then you got to go in too. What did he do? He took the girl by the hand. See, took the girl by the hand. When the last time somebody grabbed your hand and tried to help you to understand what you was attempting to do to get what it is you desire to have? Let's go. You be, you do, and you have. You be what you want to see. You do what's necessary to make it work. And then you will have what you're looking for. Okay, let's go deeper. For many of you, you do whatever it is You do whatever it is that's going to bring forth what you like. Okay, I got to say it different. Okay, here you go. The money does not show up before you get, let's go deeper. The money comes last. Your attitude comes first. That will be the attitude in the visible crown, which will be the character. You get the character that goes with what you desire. You desire to be married, you get the character of a wife and start working it with the right attitude. You keep showing up will help somebody grow up. And if they can't grow up, then guess what? They got to give up. Many people going to give up because you was just that close. Remember the lady with the issue of blood? She just needed to get close. Many of you, you're so close to where you need to be. Many people can't reach that frequency. But thank God right there, light your fire, that you're able to hit that frequency. Many people can't get where you at right now. And that is your comfort. That new place, this new space that we at right now, that's your security right there. That's your security. So here we go. Here we go. He grabbed the person by the hand. She got up. News of this spread it throughout the region. The region represented the territory. See, expansion of the territory, right? They don't want to talk with you. They want to talk about you. And some of you, we've been so talking about everybody who failed, but it's your turn right now. It's your time. When you was trying to do what you was trying to do, it wasn't your time. But it is your time is now. And we need to sit down, take time, get your pencil out, put your music on, realign yourself up, and make sure that you understand. Reread this passage. Look at how I broke it down. Look at how I went through. And the news of this spread it through the region, all the regions. So everybody witnessed what took place, right? Now, I want to, for time purposes, I didn't get a chance to say one thing, and this one thing I need to say. So I'm just going to read this and breeze through it. Matthew 9. As Jesus went on from there. Now keep in mind, everywhere he went, he had a situation. In your life, one thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing, leads to another thing. But it's never the same individual, right? It's never the same thing. He never returned back to anything. Watch this. Jesus went on from there. 2 blind men followed him, calling out. Blind. How you following someone blind? I can tell you how. Because some people getting this notification, they come on this broadcast pre-recorded. Some people get on this broadcast and they don't know what we built on, but I'm grateful that we light fire for those that comes on, because we're getting something new. And if we're going to do something different, we get something different. And at the end of the day, it's about the results. Results. Each and every last one of you will have your own results, right? What plus Y equals results. That's what we're about. We listen, we learn, and we execute. We execute the plan. But I wanted to give you this one because it jumped out at me, right? 2 blind men was following him, calling out, have mercy on us, David. When he had gone indoor, see, inside, indoor, outdoor. When he went in, guess what happened? The blind men came in too. So my point is, many people comes in as well with you, that when you come in, they come in also. He asked them, do you believe that I am able to do this? They said, yes. They replied. Then he touched their eyes, and according to your faith, let it be done to you. And there was sight restored. To have it restored, sometimes we got to look at how we lost it. You guys, I thank you guys for tuning in. I am my life coach. You already know. Peace and blessings. My name is Adonius, a.k.a. the Wildfire. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for logging in. Peace and blessings. I see you guys in the 5 o'clock hour on Facebook. Love, peace, and blessings. Thank you for your time.